Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Sorry, I'm hopping on here a bit late. As you can tell, I'm a little more fancy than usual. I'm actually speaking to Google in about 30 minutes. So I'm super excited. I'm going to be talking about how to manage our energy and not just manage it, but even optimize it to get us a little better than what we are in spite of perhaps the dread that we may be encountering, that every day is going to be like this day, that this kind of like nonstop shit show that we've been in for a while. um how can we not just manage our energy effectively, but also even optimize it? So that's what I'm doing very soon. However, I wanted to hop on because Brene Brown, who y'all know I'm a fan of, she just made this massively beautiful book, Atlas of the Heart. I have just started to read it, but I've heard a couple of interviews with her. And, the whole thing that this is about is that we are emotional humans first. And in order to get our thinking online, in order to get all the things that we want to do and accomplish, our cognitive functioning online, we have to make sure that we are caring for our emotions. And one of the most powerful ways that we can care for an emotion, I know this both personally and I know this as a coach, is to name them. And, I often will talk to clients about like the 5 kind of components of every emotion that's out there. But I do think, and I still hold to that, I think there's such power in kind of simplifying things. But what she talks about is how many 87 of the emotions and experiences, not just emotions, but experiences that we experience as humans to help us navigate the world. And when we can name them, then we can heal and we can show up bigger and brighter than before. One of the most powerful things that I keep hearing her talking about in her interviews is something called the near enemy. So the near enemy meaning that, so for example, compassion. Compassion is what helps us be with one another. Compassion is when we show up as equals in the pain, that we're not trying to one up, we're not trying to change, we're not trying to look down, but compassion is when we can show up as equals with each other. The far enemy, the opposite, kind of the far enemy of compassion is cruelty. So cruelty is like, I'm going to do something bad to you. We can spot that right away. And we can kind of be able to see it for what it is. But gaslighting, manipulation, power over dynamics, when people are trying to have power over you, unintentional impacts happen not with the far enemy, but with the near enemy, the thing that's right next to compassion. And that thing that's so close to it and yet so far away can actually create miles and miles of distance between. It can actually create separation. And so the thing right next to compassion is pity. When we go, oh, that's too bad that happened to you. That it's close enough to compassion. We want compassion, but what we can often get is what's near to compassion, which is pity, and that drives disconnection. And one of the things that I don't, maybe the far enemy of disconnection is, or of connection is disconnection. But what Brene Brown has been talking about lately is that the near enemy of connection is control. This is where people give advice, where they try to fix, where they go, oh, you know what you should do? You should do this. That actually drives not disconnecting, right? And it seems so close to connection. It seems like, oh, they're trying to help me. But what it does is it puts a wedge in. And so what I am appreciating and enjoying about this book and these 87 experiences is a lot of confirmation of the way that of the things that I have learned and gathered along the way, but also a lot of learning and this whole concept of the near enemy, the thing that like that is the breeding grounds of that gaslighting. That is the breeding grounds of unhealthy dynamics, and we can all be participatory in that unintentionally. So if you haven't yet, Atlas of the Heart, it's a beefy book, but it's a good one. Take a look because I think it's going to help us find our way. That's what this is all about. It's called an atlas because the metaphor of a map helps us find our way. It helps us recognize where we are and where we're going. And so and this is not just some self-help guru. This is Dr. Brene Brown. She's a social scientist. This is all based in research. So there you have it. Wish me luck for Google here in the next few minutes. And Earlene, thank you for being here. Thank you for tagging people on here. Yes to Karen. Yes to Misty. I miss you guys. I'll see you soon. And I just wish you a wonderful week of naming the emotions and finding your way. I am here on the journey with you. Take care.